A moment meant for fun, meant to be playful, meant to be part of a concert spectacle turned into a storm. That moment is the Coldplay Kiss Cam incident at Gillette Stadium on July 16, 2025. What began as a simple camera sweep across audience members turned into a viral scandal with consequences that no one seemed ready for. This is the story of Coldplay Kiss Cam scandal viral moment, divorce and public fallout. The setting is a Coldplay concert in Foxborough, Massachusetts, thousands of fans singing along, lights dimmed, energy high. In that environment, the Kiss Cam tradition is familiar. 2 audience members are featured. The crowd expects romance. Laughter, sometimes romance avoided, sometimes embraced. But this night, when Astronomer CEO Byron and Kristin Cabot, then Chief People Officer of Astronomer, were featured on the big screen, everything changed. The video shows the 2 embracing, swaying together for a brief moment. Then awareness strikes. Cabot covers her face. Byron ducks out of view. The audience reaction pauses. On stage, Coldplay frontman Chris Martin observes, with a grin and a hint of mischief, either they are having an affair or they are just very shy. That line, thrown offhand, becomes a lightning rod. Almost immediately, the moment explodes online. Clips circulated on TikTok, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram news outlets. Memes are made. People identify the individuals and begin speculating. Were they having an affair? Were they even together? Did they intend to look affectionate, or was this misinterpreted? The absence of statement from the people involved only fed speculation. The professional consequences were swift. Astronomer, the company where Byron was CEO and Kristin Cabot was Chief People Officer, acknowledges the viral moment publicly and announces an internal investigation. Within a few days, Byron resigns as CEO. Cabot also steps down from her role shortly after. These resignations are not just about public image. They are about accountability, company values, leadership expectations, trust. On the personal front, things get messier. Kristin Cabot files for divorce from her husband Andrew Cabot on August 13, 2025 in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. This is about 4 weeks after the concert. Divorce filings make the story even more public than before. They bring legal documents, media speculation, family dynamics, reputations into play. What many people perhaps missed in the heat of the scandal is that the divorce decision apparently preceded the concert. Andrew Cabot, through his spokesperson, states that the couple had been privately and amicably separated several weeks before the Coldplay concert. That detail complicates narratives about cause and effect. It suggests that while the Kiss Cam moment became a catalyst for public scrutiny, parts of the personal story had already been unfolding. There is another layer, the public silence from Kristin Cabot and Byron. Neither has made a full statement clarifying what their relationship is or was. There is no direct admission of an affair, no full denial, at least not in public record. That silence allows rumor, speculation, gossip, moral judgments. It also raises questions about dignity, privacy, boundaries of personal and professional life in the age of viral media. Imagine you are sitting with thousands of people, lights, music, then boom, spotlight on you and someone you know. Suddenly, you are projected, judged, interpreted by people you will never meet. What would you feel? Panic, disbelief, shame? Or would you try to laugh it off? The emotions are complex. Kristin Cabot covered her face. Byron ducked. The reaction is human. But what becomes of that human in public? That is what this scandal forced into sharp relief. Public reaction is split. Some people defend Kristin and Byron, arguing that a Kiss Cam moment is not proof of betrayal. They say that it is possible the interaction was innocent, awkward, misinterpreted. They urge privacy. Others condemn, say it is unprofessional behavior, especially given both were married to others. They argue that corporate leaders have responsibilities that extend beyond their roles and that optics matter. Trust is fragile and public expectation is high. Media coverage often emphasizes the dramatic, the video, the duck, the avoiding, Chris Martin's joke. But sometimes it misses nuance, the reported separation before the incident, emotional distress of the family, whether professional boundaries were crossed, how much was performance for the camera vs. private moment. Many media outlets also highlight memes and jokes, but those human costs behind headlines are real. There is also an ethics to workplace conduct dimension. When 2 high-ranking executives are involved in a public moment that can be interpreted as inappropriate, questions arise. What does this say about company culture? About power dynamics, how transparent people are, how private life and professional life intersect. Astronomer's leadership is under scrutiny. Stakeholders, employees, investors all have opinions. In addition, the incident becomes a lens for broader conversations about public space, celebrity, social media virality. A video taken for entertainment becomes a defining moment in someone's life. The speed at which people form opinions, judge, share, comment is almost instantaneous. There is no delay, no filter, yet consequences are lasting. Privacy becomes illusion. Reputation becomes vulnerable. This is what the age of viral moments means. For For Astronomer, the company that was relatively little known outside tech circles before, the scandal becomes a brand issue. Investors, staff morale, customer perception, all take hits. They must handle communications, resignations, investigations, leadership transitions. Astronomer names co-founder Pete DeJoy as interim CEO. Damage control becomes not only about optics, but about maintaining trust in a company whose leaders have become part of the news. Another thing that many might have overlooked is the role of bystanders. Chris Martin, the crowd, the media, social media users. Chris Martin's comment, which some saw as playful, others saw as ill-timed, thrust attention. The crowd reaction, the spread of video clips, the memes all amplify. Once public discourse begins, control is out of hands. The bystanders become part of story. Also important, the role of timing. The concert happened, video went viral, resignations followed quickly, divorces filed, public statements made or not made it. The pace means that narratives are shaped not only by facts but by what is known early, by leaks, by social media, by press speculation. Early impressions matter. In many cases, first impressions remain dominant even after clarifying details emerge. What you probably missed, the separation of Kristin Cabot and Andrew Cabot reportedly occurred before the concert. So the viral moment may have been less of a betrayal and more an accelerant. Neither Kristin nor Byron has publicly confirmed or denied an affair. Absence of confirmation does not equal absence of consequences. The speed of corporate consequence was very fast, resignations in days. That suggests companies are increasingly sensitive to public perception and internal risk. The company Astronomer had to manage reputational risk and internal upheaval at a moment when normally attention would be on product, growth, innovation. Suddenly, leadership is the news. The role of social media is not just broadcasting but participating. Memes, jokes, commentary shape the frame. Once viral, publics decide much of meaning before parties speak. Now I want to ask you, when private moments become public spectacles by accident, who holds responsibility? The people involved, the photographer, the company, the audience. And how fair is public court of opinion when many facts are missing? Because we live in a culture where image is everything, perception is everything, but truth often sleeps behind silence. The aftermath is still unfolding. Kristin is divorcing. Byron is no longer CEO of the company. Cabot is no longer chief people officer. The company is under new interim leadership. The legal proceedings are ongoing. The public has moved from shock to memes to commentary about forgiveness, accountability, reputation. Some voices call for compassion, others for clear boundaries. In the long term, this scandal may become a case study. It is about personal boundaries, but also corporate ethics. It is about what happens when leaders' personal lives merge with their public roles. It is about how quickly the internet can amplify a moment and transform lives. It may lead to more conversations within companies about code of conduct, about personal relationships, about transparency. For fans of Coldplay, this is a reminder that even moments meant as fun, kiss cams, audience participation, can have consequences when real people are involved. For the public, this is a reminder that when judgments fly, one must remember there is humanity behind every viral clip. This is Fame Daily, bringing you Coldplay kiss cam scandal, viral moment, divorce, and public fallout.